as good as Catalina by any means. I don't think anything is.
Yeah, you can't
But
really get into the natural and hope to get out again.
no, I mean it's definitely good for a Reaper opening. You can get a pretty good scout off, but making multiple Reapers is just not the best idea.
So we will be taking a bit of a break while our admin goes and handles whatever the heck he asked for 2 minutes for. So I'm going to mute myself and finish my pizza, and I believe Kaboosh is muted as well. So
Nope,
just
I'm
sit
here.
tight. Oh, you're there. You just got
Yep.
really quiet. So I'm going to mute myself and eat some pizza. You can tell
All
jokes
right.
or do anything entertaining if you're capable.
All right. Let's talk to Twitch chat. Um, how's everyone doing? I know we have Hu Sheng in the chat. Took his group pretty convincingly yesterday. Was yeah. I'm not a Protoss player myself, but his PVZ was very awe-inspiring. Story time. What do you want me to tell a story about? I'm not a very interesting person. I mean, I'm happy to tell a story, but you got to give me something to go off of here.
Tell a story about your day yesterday and how it went so poorly. I'm just assuming you had a terrible day yesterday
I
because,
can look up
you're you.
stories. Um, Yesterday was an okay day. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. I watched RSL and I ran one of our clan wars, which we lost narrowly 5-4 to Team Unrivaled. So shout out to them. I don't think any of them are watching this, but if you are, good for you. And it looks like we're ready to go. Our admin is ready to go. Um,
I'm ready to
and we're
go.
gonna.
I ate that pizza. It was cold by then, but you guys
What kind
know
of pizza? What kind of pizza
it
was it?
was sausage and pepperoni and burnt because I was casting a game
Ooh.
instead of getting it out of the oven. So, I wasn't able to complete eating the crust, but the middle was okay. So, uh, anyway. I did add the crucial crushed red peppers, which is absolutely
That's
essential for
it
pizza.
is very essential.
A lot of people will say Tabasco sauce is fine to add to pizza, and I'm not gonna say they're wrong, but they're freaking wrong. I mean,
I'm
that's
I'm I'm a big fan of sriracha on pizza. It's fantastic.
sriracha, Asian ketchup.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah,
All right. So
yep.
spawning in the top 12 o'clock position of the map, it is our blue Terran.
And
Hoping
spawning
to
in the Australian 12 o'clock position, we have creature. Is this right?
creature. Creature. You casted like 10 games and you don't know how to pronounce his name, or you're surprised who it
No, it
is.
wasn't. I guess we did play 3 games from the last series. I had in mind that it was 1-1.
Yes, the first game was the Reapers on Catalina, and the last game was I
Yeah,
think
they're
I
upside down.
think Hawkeye's confused by your subtle racism.
Subtle racism. Australian's not a race. It's just a global position that requires you to play upside down.
All right.
Oh, hush, Hawkeye, you're fine. All right, so we see uh, early gas. I wonder.
Yeah, usually when you open gas first like this, it's for some sort of Widowmine drop. Um, I'm not sure if if that's his plan here.
Could see Mega Reapers again.
You usually don't go gas first for that. I don't think so.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the opening in Terran's base on Catalina, but I just saw that he had 2 racks, 2 reactors, and 2 gases, and nothing else.
Yeah.
So, however you get there, that's what you need to be at. And again, we see the crucial building positioning, preventing things from getting behind his mineral line without going through the mineral line and potentially getting surrounded by ropes.
Yeah, it's a really nice feature for Protoss in City.
Yeah.
Doesn't really cost them anything and just does a whole lot to prevent scouting. So I don't see any reason not to do so.
Mm-hmm. Kaboosh, I'm gonna be right back because my voice is starting to get a little hoarse. I'm gonna go grab another tea, and
okay.
I'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Alright, enjoy your tea. So this Reaper is going to come in and get some scouting. He sees the... I think he saw the expansion. No, he didn't. He actually did not see the expansion, which I guess he could assume is there, but I probably should have checked anyways. And we do have the early-ish factory, so we're going to see what he decides to do here. Could be some Widow Mines like we saw last game. I have seen a lot of Hellion-based play in TVP come back into style, but I'm not sure if that's Foxer's style of play. So this Reaper is just on a mission around the map. He did manage to pick up 1 kill. And he's just trying to scout out any sort of proxy pylons or any shenanigans from the Protoss. The Stalker doing a nice job covering any sort of area, and the Mothership Core covering the rest. So this Reaper's going to come in, get attacked by the Stalker, and pushed away by the Mothership Core. And so fairly standard play from Creature. So nothing that he would have been too sad to let the Reaper see, but the fact that he kept the Reaper out is gonna keep Foxer on his toes.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright, I see a Robo, so guess I'm looking at Protoss's base right now. See a Reaper that sees the Robo. If anyone's curious at home, I went with peach ginger tea, which is really good. Definitely recommend some ginger peach tea.
Next time I'm in the market for some tea, I'll keep that in mind.
Very good, Prince Zuko.
We do have some Hellions coming out, so it looks like with the pathing in this medevac, he's going to try to drop into the natural and pull the army out, and then dart into the main with his Hellions and pick up some.
This is like the Flash build, right? That thing he did to Zergs a bunch of times.
Yeah, it was really popular in King Sejong.
Yeah.
Back when.
Here comes the drop. Straight into the mineral line. Probes run away.
But Widow Mine doesn't get down right away, so it doesn't actually get a shot off. But it's a nice micro here from Foxer. He's picking up the injured Marines from the Photon Overcharge, but I think he overstayed his welcome a little bit. The medevac does go down. Yeah, he picks up 8 probes.
Let's see the Hellions come in.
Yeah.
Should be at least a couple more probes.
A total of 12 workers killed.
12.
In this. So
and that's the biggest early game discrepancy we've seen, I think. Right?
Yeah. He would have been better if he could have gotten out with that medevac, but he still did a good amount of damage. And behind this we see looks like a 2-base Blinkstalker Colossus play. The War Prism is a weird feature here, delaying the Colossus production a little bit, but I guess maybe because he took so much economic damage, it was delayed anyhow.
Yeah, I think he's trying to take a page out of Foxer's book and try to pull the Terran defenses all around and try to get an equal number of kills. We do see the Terran finishing up a bunch of barracks and opting for marine production rather than adding an add-on right away. That's pretty good. We do see a drop coming back home with the troops.
We see the planetary, planetary at the third base again, which I like how much economic damage she did early on.
Another reason I like it here is because this base, with how wide open it is from the main ramp to the first thing you could choke off with the third, it's a huge wide open area, most prominent in Zerg versus whatever, but planetary is just going to be really helpful in defending this, and turns out missile turret's also the hard counter to observers.
Indeed. So a little bit of a drop coming in here, only 6 Marines. This really shouldn't do catastrophic damage, but it's going to get a scout off at the very least.
There is kind of a money spot in the back of Creature's base that he could drop and not have to deal with anything except this cannon.
The cannon does a lot to just 6 Marines.
Yeah.
It's really need a double drop to kind of contest cannons.
Yeah. And he's got cannons in both bases now. So, just playing super safe. I might even like to see a cannon in the front of the natural, so to speak. So, like, towards the gold base. Just to even more firmly say, no, drops aren't going to work here. Or you're going to have to commit a ton to it.
Yeah, he's got these Blink Stalkers in position, though, so they kind of do the same thing. I'd argue they're even better.
Now, I don't understand why Terran players do this. He put a sensor tower in a place, like, it's okay here, but I like to see sensor towers used a little bit more aggressively to see something else. So maybe if he put it, like, up against this little banana cliff here.
You need, if you put it too aggressively, it gets picked off by, like, 2 Zealots in about half a second. Yeah. He wants it here because if he sees the army coming, right, he has time to position and get a concave. Whereas, like, the Protoss army could stop, like, right on the edge of Foxer's vision and reposition, get all his Zealots in position, get all his Colossus in the perfect arc, and then go in.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of giving him a little bit of a warning.
Yeah, I guess my point would be, I think it might be helpful to, if you're going to commit to building sensor towers at all, giving yourself as much time as you can, because you're telling the other player exactly what you know, so he's going to see it coming, so he's either going to try to run in everything really quickly before it can matter, or he's just not going to go down that way. So either way, it's kind of a lot of an investment for not very much gain. And we do see a couple Stalker pickoffs by this bio dance.
Those Stalkers got quite a few Vikings, though. I think they got 2, which is really nice, and it buys Creature a lot of time to just kind of bolster his Colossus count. And that makes Foxer go home and get even more Vikings. And a little bit of miscontrol in that drop. He forgot about it.
Was it on his main hotkey group, I wonder?
He either did that or he F2'd or something like that. Not exactly sure.
Yeah, because he just ran straight over the cannon. I guess he forced an overcharge then. Hard to tell. When did that overcharge go off? Do you remember?
Right when the army came in with the Vikings.
Okay, so
just now expired.
Yeah, like if instead of like using a photon overcharge, the drop would have been nice to force it, but that was just a mistake by Foxer, I think.
So last game we saw Creature pull ahead with these upgrades, but it looks like Foxer's actually got a little bit of an upgrade lead himself. +1 for Vikings, +1 air attack is almost done, and he's transitioning into that second starport. So he's going to have 4 Vikings made at a time. But the thing is there's no Ghost Academy yet, and the Templar Archives is just now finishing up for Creature, and Storm is coming out. So he's got a window to kind of press with Superior Economy, and he actually he pulled all the boys.
What? I guess he's just gonna say no, just take it. Oh, the SCVs got pulled.
Yeah, the boys are here.
So I guess he can just go home now with his SCVs, right?
You
Like,
can.
there's no
You
reason to
definitely
force
can.
yourself up there because you're on 3 bases super comfortably. Like, I would say, like, it's a lot of lost mining time, but you can just go home now.
Yeah, he really just needs some ghosts though. That was his flaw, one of his big flaws last game. And this game, it looks like he's kind of repeating the same mistake because if you don't make ghosts, your opponent can just make as many Templars as they want and
Yeah.
storm your whole army forever. It's like it doesn't matter how good your splits are. Like you can't possibly split well enough to avoid all of those storms.
Yes, definitely. And we do see another drop being queued up. I don't know if it's coming back or not. I don't see it on the minimap anymore, but I was told by GameHeart that it loaded. We see 3 sedated Phoenix too. I don't know. That seems like it is either trying to fake him into thinking, but I don't know. I don't know what that was about. A lot of energy, but I guess he's got enough energy because nothing is going to happen. And
I think he just wanted to be completely sure he would have gotten by any Vikings he ran into. Just to make sure he actually got the scout off.
Yeah. Good idea.
So Fox are just trying to take back map control.
We do have, despite Chrono Boost, a pretty big lead on the 3-3 upgrades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Vikings
when you're
going to chill over here for a while. I don't know how that's going to miss each other. But the Warp Prism lives, the Vikings do find a pylon. But they're going to be called back because he realizes he's being attacked.
Yeah, the Vikings are out of position. This fourth base...
This fourth is dead.
Yeah, I don't agree with trying to contest this army here at this fourth base. There's no real need to hold the fourth base. Some overkill on those storms there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so I think right now, by taking such small forces, he's trying to bait storms.
Yeah. His ghosts are out, though. 3 ghosts are out, 4 more are about to pop. So he's going to have all he needs to deal with this. Just
now,
kind of...
Forgive my ignorance, but ghosts start with enough EMP energy, right?
Yes, they do. But Creature actually bought enough time to... He pulled back and he waited. His 3-3 is just about to kick in, so he's going to go into an even fight here.
Yeah. Oh, cute. Foxer's just showing off his splits right now.
Oh, those ghosts. Oh, the ghosts. They didn't get anything off. They just ran into their death.
Oh, that'll happen. We do see a really low Colossus count, so I don't even know how to call this fight. Like, there's no more Templar, no more Colossus. I guess Terran's winning?
He's going to push the army back, for sure. But he doesn't have a 4th base, and Creature is getting his 4th base. So that's kind of becoming the point of contention in this game.
You see big old probe train heading from, looks like the natural, or the main, down to the 4th, and now
the 4th base gets canceled.
Boxers canceled the 4th. Looks pretty even to me right now.
Yeah, his army is really weak though. Not weak in the sense that it's small, but it's all red, and there's only 2 medevacs to heal this army, and 2 more are out. But he's definitely got a lead. If you look at the supply, he's up about 23 supply.
Yeah. And the Colossus count is back to 0. He is adding two more robos for late game. It's pretty much not a bad idea when you don't know what to build as Protoss to just make as many unit producing structures as you can in case you need them later. So, going into, is that triple Colossus production? Nope, this one's still making observers. So, has the potential for triple Colossus production, which is, you know, really good for Protoss who like lasers, if that's your thing.
So Foxer sees exactly where this army is.
But the observers and everything, Creature's got really good map presence. He's just got a zealot here, stuff there. He's never gonna not know. Oh, that was a good EMP.
Yeah, catches that Templar.
where the opponent is. Oh, blinking on top of the ghosts, and a lot of stacked storms again. Quite a lot of storm. Oh, that's a big shot. Ghosts get off some pretty good EMPs this time. Pretty much on the whole army, but at the same time he lost a lot to storm, so I don't know how to say who's winning right now. There's a Templar that got off with no storms, so I guess that's good. Should he be trying to feed back the ghosts, or are they too small to try to click on?
You generally want to feed back them if you can. It depends on, like, if it's the same thing as like EMP versus snipe. If they're clumped up,
Yeah.
EMP is better, or storm, and if they're by themselves, snipe or a feedback is generally what you want to go for.
It's interesting. The medevacs can't stop long enough to heal any of these units, so they're just going back to their base on super low health. We're seeing a really good game here. At least I'm enjoying it. It seems like what Terran versus Protoss should be.
Yeah.
Dancing around with the Vikings and Ghosts versus the Templars and Colossus.
Yeah, the medevac count though, like they're all pretty much out of energy though. So his army is staying a little red.
Yeah.
But he really doesn't want any more medevacs because he's gonna need as many Vikings as he can to contest these Colossus.
Yeah. So both at 199 supply, so they clearly should have done something in their build to get an odd numbered unit.
Mm-hmm.
Creature's gonna fix that by losing a probe here. And the probe does not put down any pylons, but again, Creature's just showing this. I have a few things just spread out everywhere, so I'm always gonna know. And we're just not seeing that from Foxer, so Creature's got a bit more map awareness. But Foxer's got an army that's really scary, so it may not even matter. He does scan, he sees the new base added. If there's going to be an advantage in this game, it's that Foxer's 5th is a gold base.
Yeah, that helps a little bit. Their mineral banks are both pretty big, so it's not going to be like a huge game changer. But it's definitely a nice edge.
Yep, and we do see a random Templar in the middle of the map. It's really nice to spread those out, because in case they see something, they can always just go and throw down a storm in the middle of the army, or at least try.
Mm-hmm. Little pause, but we got...
Interesting. So both players know where the other one is. It's kind of just a high noon standoff, so to speak. First one to move is probably going to take an unfavorable engagement because the other person's going to see it and move to a better spot. So what's the crucial next step? Like, how does one player try to gain that advantage that's going to let him win the game?
So it's basically just comes down to like a Ghost Viking based army here.
We do
Foxer is a little bit of a late.
Big flank here. See if they get anything off.
Some okay
like,
EMPs, but there's just way too many Templars.
Still a lot of purple on the map, so still a lot of energy. And it looks like Protoss has gotten the better of this engagement, but retreating to a bunch of buildings will help the SimCity, funneling all the zealots into death chokes, so to speak. We've got a lot of command centers, and that's just a bunch of wasted money at this point.
Yeah.
So he sacks the SCVs, but doesn't get the command centers up for orbitals. So now he's in a really awkward economic position, and I think he may have just lost himself the game. He is producing 6 ghosts at a time, but he's going to have to get them out like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, he kind of went all in with that attack, and then the ghost just didn't get the EMPs they needed, so he had to retreat. And now the Protoss is on top of his production, so his small army is just not going to be able to get reinforced, and he's going to have to fight cost effectively.
Vikings are doing some work on Colossus, but eventually he's just going to get stormed to death, and there's a couple stalkers. You don't want too many because zealots are better in the late game, but he is going to pick off this gold base pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, the supplies are pretty even though. behind all this.
Yeah,
A warping
the
puts
worker deficit's what's attributing to most of it. But I think it might start to tip in Protoss's favor because Terran doesn't really have a good answer for what's in his base right now. We do see Creature has 16 High Templars.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
Good EMP there, but when you have 16 High Templars, what's getting a couple of them EMP'd?
Yeah, you kind of just the game usually comes down to one big fight, and I think we saw that earlier. Boxer's trying to hold on, but it just kind of snowballed really hard in favor of Creature because Foxer couldn't get those EMPs.
Yep. So, I mean, is the rest just a matter of technique at this point, or does Foxer stand a comeback chance?
He does. He's gonna have to take an amazing fight, but not right now. No, if he can somehow delay the attack for like another minute, and he has an army that's capable of contesting creatures, he does. But like the current army comps right now,
yeah,
he just doesn't have an answer to all these
Creature
things.
has everything he wants, and Foxer has some of the things he wants, but just way less.
Yeah.
At this point, we do see Creature going up 90 supply. And yeah,
More SCV is going down. Just a huge. Yeah, the Creature's positioned himself between the army and the production, so he's just kind of picking off their production for free.
Yep.
And
you see
back into a corner here.
Goldface's last stand. I think the weather's calling for storms.
It always is.
Planetaries are really good, but they're not that good.
48 workers killed in the last few moments here.
Yeah.
It's 75 workers killed for Creature versus 19 for Foxer. And remembering that the game opened up with a 12 worker kill, 12 workers killed from Foxer's opening.
Creature really locked down his economy after that first attack from Foxer. And now he's down to 2 bases with 0 potential minerals, and this is going to be the game. So Foxer down to the losers match, and Creature advances to the round of 16. Good game, well played by everybody.
GG. Yeah, that was very well played from Creature. Foxer got a really nice lead, but just couldn't get the EMPs he needed.
Yep. Alrighty.